I feel so blessed that I have this in me because it was always there from when I was born. It wasn't something I took up later on. I was always drawing and painting when I was a little girl. I always tell everyone I was born with a paintbrush in my hand. This piece is called Follow Your Dream, and it was a thing that I told my children when they were growing up, that I wanted them to follow their dream. I feel that that's very important, and most people don't really have the opportunity to do that. This is part of a series of small sculptures that I did, and they're called Relationships. And that piece is called Baby No-No. That was the birth of my second grandson, whose name is Noah, and it's kind of the emerging of a new life. This piece is called Resurrection, and it refers to the phoenix, the bird that was the most beautiful bird in the Arabian desert. And it flew for thousands of years and then burned itself on its own pyre and then resurrected itself to become even more beautiful. It was also related to something going on in my life, and the idea that you can resurrect yourself. That's called Changes. And when you start hearing the names of all these works, you know that there's been a lot going on in my life, and I express it in my work. It's like my way to somehow figure out how to make things better, how to change things. The work is actually almost like a catharsis. Every single day, I'm sure other artists have the same thing, the element of time. Because when I think about the number of my age, that makes me feel pressured. It makes me feel like there are not enough hours in the day to do all the things I want. I've never, ever had a block. That piece is very significant to me because for several years I wasn't working. I couldn't work because we were building a new studio here, and I was very occupied with running the whole project. And so when I was able to finally get back to work, I did that work, and that was the first one of a whole series, and it's called Breaking Free. And that was done when my first grandson was born, and I was fortunate enough to be able to hold him just maybe 5 minutes after he was born, and his index finger was out like that, and so this green over here is his finger sticking out. This small work over here was done many, many years ago. And of course, I grew up with a very traditional background in art training, and so we all worked representational in the beginning. And the painting next to it was done as a little test for myself to see if I could do something really small, and then when it was photographed, not to be able to tell, that you wouldn't be able to really know the scale of it. That piece is called A Dozen Roses. It was a time when I had Epstein-Barr. I was very, very sick, and I couldn't do very much for 14 months. I was really laid out. And both of my sons were in college at Cornell University, and it was Valentine's Day, and the doorbell rang. There was this dozen roses being delivered to me. That's what came out of that experience, an explosion of love. These mobiles are something that I really am excited about. I was asked a number of years ago to do an ornament for the Christmas tree at the Aldrich Museum. I just decided I wanted to do something that was fun and not so serious like my big paintings. All of these works on paper, as well as all of my mobiles, are part of my new body of work, which is called Elements of Peace. Some people will tell you, oh, do it this way or do it that way. You have to be very true to yourself. And that takes a lot of courage, and it takes some learning and some knowledge and some sophistication.